We are joined by Rabbi Stephen Burg. He's the CEO of Aish. Rabbi, what is it about bad times that make everybody suddenly turn and blame the Jews?
I think everyone's looking to blame someone for something. I think that's what happens when the economy goes bad or things happen like that. And we've always been kind of out there as we've been successful. We've worked hard. I mean, we went through the Holocaust, and then in America, you have Holocaust survivors that have built themselves up. And therefore, we're just kind of out there. And I think what you're seeing is, Europe has seen this for a while, and now it's shifting to America. And I think Americans are very, very surprised at what's happening on their streets.
So that's one of the big questions that we've seen is that the black community, from Irving and Kanye, have started to make these public statements against the Jews. Why is it that communities that in the past we've seen a lot of closeness between them, particularly the civil rights movement, was very much headed and backed by a lot of voices in the Jewish community, switched to today where suddenly these same voices are turning and saying the Jews are public enemy number one?
Well, it's very painful. During the civil rights movement, I mean, the Jews were right there locked, unarmed, and fighting for the rights of the African Americans. But it's not only them. You're seeing the far right and the far left, everyone kind of coming together and pointing fingers at us. And I think it's the internet. I mean, I really think that that's what's been going on. They talk about lone wolf when someone just goes and does an anti-Semitic incident. But lone wolves always spend tons of time on the internet learning how to do things. And people are watching these documentaries. That's the famous one on Amazon. Amazon is still, literally, it's one of their top-selling videos right now, the one that's got all the attention. And the Jews are screaming, please stop. It's just not true. And I think that's really what's happened. All of this stuff is becoming more professional, better, and as the economy is crumbling, people are just looking for someone to blame.
Now, in the past, there have been attempted interventions here. The Anti-Defamation League waged lawfare, using lawsuits to shut down people that would spew anti-Semitism. But we've seen that technique not only not really working in the day of the internet, but backfiring directly, with Kanye with his tweet saying, "Who invented cancel culture?" If that method is not a good way to shut down anti-Semitism in the modern era, what is a good way?
You're 100% right. It's become whack-a-mole. You hit someone over here and someone pops up over here. The only thing we can do is be vigilant. We need to speak out. We need to constantly work on our messaging. It's really difficult. We just had the Israeli elections here, right? And what do you hear from most Jewish leaders? Concern. Not that we have a great democracy. Not the fact that we're strong and we do great things around the world. We have concerns about the government. I'm not saying they're not valid concerns, but our messaging itself, we're almost feeding into it. We've got to stay positive. We've got to be vigilant when we see these things. We have to speak out. And most importantly, we have to train young people. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know about you, how you are. TikTok and Instagram is not exactly my field, but there's so many great young Jews that can go out there and wage that positive war and get the messaging out about all the great things that the Jewish people have to offer.
One of the biggest challenges that, from my perspective, the Jewish community has always faced is, in a sense, outsourcing the defense of its community to other institutions. The ADL will pressure Twitter or something, or they'll seek legal changes. But is there anything that people inside the Jewish community themselves can do to strengthen their own communities, to work within their own communities to protect them against anti-Semitism?
Again, it's young Jews. It's about the next generation. And I think that's what's the most concerning to me is you have a generation that's further and further away from Judaism, further away from support of Israel. I mean, every single poll that we read is talking about that. We have to empower them to go out and defend it. And it's not just about the lawsuits. It's about getting young Jews passionate about Israel, Judaism, and supporting and defending us.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi Burg. That's all the time we have with you. We're going to move on to